Welcome back to Pitt Beyond the Script, continuing on with Coach Narduzzi. And I wanted to ask you about a couple more guys on defense. Let's begin with Tamar Hamlin. This was a guy who was a blue-chip recruit. You guys are delighted to get him. A lot of times, I think, defensive backs, when they're having quiet games, that's a good thing. But he was loud with his 10 tackles, led your team in tackles this week.
Yeah, he's been loud really all year, I think. Even the week before, I think he was a player of the game, or at least an unsung hero of the game, but making a lot of plays. You know, with all the RPOs we're seeing, he's playing off-man coverage to the field, and he's getting a lot of slants, a lot of quick outs, and he's got to make a lot of tackles in space. And, you know, in the past, we've worried about guys just making tackles. The impressive thing about Tamar is now he's making PBUs on some of those. He's very comfortable in his alignment and understanding what we're trying to do. And, you know, he's been really outstanding all year.
We've talked so much about the front four, and they have been unbelievable. Of course, we all know about the sack totals, but playing next to Tamar Hamlin, another big-time recruit, another local guy, Paris Ford, just it looks like he just continues to get better and better.
You know, he's a fun player to watch. I mean, if I was a fan and I could take my binoculars and just focus on one guy, I'd have number 12 in my camera. He's fun, he's exciting, he's enthusiastic. You know, he's getting better every week as far as what he's supposed to be doing. He had a fantastic catch on the sideline that I guess he didn't complete in the third quarter, I believe. But he's a great player, and he's played well for us, and he can play even better. That's the important thing. This is his first year of really playing safety. Another year, that guy's going to be a top drafted guy, I think.
And they were out there pretty much the entire game.
Those two played the entire game. They didn't take a snap off.
It's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Meanwhile, another guy, Temari Mathis, you have a lot of talent on that back end, comes up with a second career interception.
He got rid of it quickly, high and picked off. Mathis with the interception for Pitt.
Temari's been great all year as well. I mean, him and Jason Pinnock have been battling back and forth the entire season. You know, JP has, you know, kind of had a little bit of a hamstring issue, a little bit of an injury issue, so he's in and out a little bit. And Temari's been able to continue to work every week. And I think every week he continues to get better. And it was good to see him come up with a pick in cover 3 on Saturday. And, you know, I just wish he could have taken it to the house. I mean, can you score? So I got talked about his running. I may get him with Coach Powell a little bit, see if we can work on his running back skills, because it was to the field. And there was some space there, but we got to make somebody miss, have a little wiggle, and get to the house.
All right, well, we'll look for that in upcoming weeks. Coming up this week, meanwhile, you're taking on Georgia Tech. We've been so used to seeing Paul Johnson, that flex bone option that he ran down at Georgia Tech. A little bit different offense now. First of all, what was it like having to prepare for Coach Johnson? Because you just don't see that very often unless you're playing Navy or Georgia Tech.
Yeah, it was not easy to prepare for, I can tell you that. Unfortunately, we had to prepare for it when we played Duke earlier in the year. So it was, you know, we got a little flavor of it. You know, who knows? They may come out and do it again. We don't know for sure what Jeff Collins and his offense staff will come up with. But we're glad we don't have to deal with that any longer. They've got some good athletes, obviously down there in Georgia. They've done a good job recruiting. Paul Johnson did an outstanding job bringing skilled athletes to that program, and now it's just developing them into a new offense. So to me, it's no different than what, you know, Mark Whipple's done with our offense, changing our identity, changing what we're doing, and he's doing the same thing. Football players are football players. Most of those kids that came to Georgia Tech didn't come from a wing T offense in high school. They all played in a normal spread, you know, pro offense, and then they were transitioned into the option style. So now they're just getting back to what they did in high school. And it just takes a little bit of time, no different than any style offense that changes.
Is it a little bit different this time of year? Maybe if you played this team earlier, you would have looked at Temple tape, maybe, for where Jeff Collins was the head coach before. Is there enough here on Georgia Tech tape just to be able to watch what they've done and see their tendencies, not have to go back and look at Temple film?
Yeah, great question, Rob. During the season, we're pretty much focused on who they are. And obviously, if it was game 2, we'd be watching all Temple tape. Game 1, for sure, we've got nothing else to deal with. But in the summers, we do a summer report on guys, and we went through probably 6 or 7 games of Temple. We've pulled out all their trick plays. We've pulled out all their, you know, fake punts, you know, onside kicks they run against Buffalo. I mean, we've pulled all those little things that they've done all their years there. Anything tricky, because you can't get all your tricks, you know, in 6 games. So we've got all the others saved, and we've watched those this week as well.
And you alluded to this, that the team is better than the record indicates. They've been getting better. They're coming off a victory over Miami, so certainly a challenge as far as they're concerned. Meanwhile, for you, on your end of things, a chance to be bowl eligible. As you start a season, and even get to this point of the season, is that something you can check off and say, okay, that's one thing accomplished? Is that a milepost on the way to your season.
It is, I think, but you don't talk about going into it. I don't really care about being bowl eligible. That really doesn't matter to me. I don't think it really matters to our kids. You have higher expectations than a 6-win season. No disrespect. I want to go to a bigger bowl game. But I think after the thing is, you can say, guys, we're at least bowl eligible, and then we move on to the next and continue to try to stack wins.
Let's hope we can check that one off and be talking about stacking more wins after Georgia Tech on Saturday.
That's right.
All right, Coach, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks to you for watching this week's edition of Pitt Beyond the Script.